Shalom, Miss Pt. Shalom, shalom. Emmanuel Pt.2. Yours truly and sincerely is back. And I have a message. Picking up where I left off at from the previous stream. I thought I was gonna be one and done, but with so much meat to that subject, that topic of discussion, that we'll cover and tackle here in part 2 of why Christians should leave the church. But before we begin, I just want to say all praises, honor, worship, and esteem, and exaltation be with Yahuwah, be unto Yahuwah, be upon Yahuwah, be with Yahuwah, belongs to Yahuwah, Elohim, Elohim, Yahusha HaMashiach is king. Yahusha HaMashiach is the king. Right. Shalom to all the Mishpachah, and all the Kadashim, and all the select few, chosen ones, all the elect saints out there in YouTube land. So last time we was here, we went over, we've gone over how the word Christian is only in the scriptures 3 times, and we went over how there's no conviction in these the churchgoers out there in YouTube land, Shlakia, sorry. The churchgoers out there, the church-going people, the church-going folks, how there's no conviction in there. There has never been any conviction in there. And even I, myself, had experienced church hurt, because there was brothers and sisters off up in there that was going through experiments, going through the motions. And that was telling for me. I didn't quite know how to describe it. I didn't know how to explain it. I couldn't quite put my finger on it because I was so young back then, so little. But it was enough to make me, turn away, from the church. So and this happened 20-some years ago. And I know I probably don't look that old, but hey, all's well that ends well. The rapture, we covered the rapture and how that was just some make-believe, some baloney pony, some phony. And then we brought the witnesses with it to cover it, as I'm looking at it over here on this whiteboard. Now, and we also touched a bit on just the LGTB, the LGBTQ. And it's like this, right? Who are you picking? Because that's the season we're in. That is the season. This is the season for believing. And for those that are unbelieving, I'm just trying to peel some layers back for you. This is your Aki Emmanuel Pt.2 speaking to you. This is your Ak Emmanuel Pt.2. If you don't get nothing else from this channel, from this station, this account, this handle, then you have your eyes and ears closed to the truth. The truth is, listen, the truth is not to offend you. The truth is not designed to offend you. It's designed to assist you, aid you, guide you, lead you. It's designed to help you, help you get out of church hurt, help you get out of the fibs. They tell more whoppers in church than Pinocchio, huh? They should have a long Pinocchio nose by now. Yeah. Yes. The LGBTQ, man. Who are you choosing? Choose ye this day, this young, whom you will serve. Because there's not going to be any have your cake and eat it too. There's not going to be any of that whatsoever. So, are you choosing Shaitan or are you choosing Yahuwah? Are you choosing Shaitan or are you choosing Yahusha? That's what it all boils down to. That's the boiling point. Right there. So today we're gonna get into the counterfeit doctrines, which is so many. It's a whole bunch, plenty, floating all about. So, and there's a whole plethora of whatever floats your boat going on. Yeah. And I just want to say this: with these counterfeit doctrines, here's what it leads to. It leads to the proverbial wolf in sheep's clothing, huh? Yeah. That's what it leads to. It leads to the proverbial false prophet, false teacher, false minister, false deacon, false bishop, false pastor. You name it, it's false. It's fake. Kid you not. So, and we're also going to hit on a very familiar term, which is that gossip. That hummingbird, like the birds and the bees. That is rampant in the body of Mashiach. All three of those, all of this is very rampant in the body of Mashiach, body of Messiah, Yahushua, HaMashiach. And don't get upset and angered and perturbed and disturbed with me for calling this stuff out. If the shoe fit, wear it. I'm just busting this stuff out. I bust myself out. I chew my own self out. Like you should be disgusted with your own sins more than the next brother or sister's sins. Huh? You should be more disgusted by the speck in your own eye than the speck in your brother and sister eye. So if you're not checking yourself, you're gonna wreck yourself. I'm telling you right now. If you're not checking your own hinges, you gonna rust up real quick out here. It's gonna be a dust up out here, fast like. So let's dive in. Shall we? Let's cover some things here. Let's start off in the Torah. Let's go to the first 5 books. Let's go over here to Exodus. Shemut. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 11. Why don't we do that? Let's get that witness as well. Verse 7 and 11. Got that going right there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's read. But Pharaoh also called the wise men and the practicers of witchcraft, and they, the magicians of Mizraim, also did so with their magic. So, when you go up in the church now, when you go up in the church building, the church booth, the church shelter, the church temple, and you see them just going on a whole rampage, and they can't stop talking in that kundalini. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That hoodoo voodoo, that hex and vex up in the church. You can't understand what they saying. You can't understand, overstand, and you don't comprehend. You don't grasp the concept. And you don't even recognize that they just did some witchcraft off up in that shindig over there. They done did the shenanigans. They done did the hooligan right in front of you. They just did some magic. Them ministers, reverends, and deacons, and bishops, and preachers, and teachers, and pastors with the falsehood be pulling the Houdini act on you. Yeah, Christians. Yeah. You out there in there balling out with the Christianity, rocking out with that Christianity stuff. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all go and see a magician. Y'all go see a wizard, warlock, warlord. Y'all go and see them, especially if you got a wife, then it's a wizard and his witch. A warlock and his witch. A warlord and his witch. That's exactly what y'all go up in the church and see. And this is what you call the proverbial scam artists. They perfected the art of scamming y'all out y'all money. Huh? Yeah. They have perfected the art of scamming you out your funds. They found a way to coax you and woo you and seduce you right out your pockets, right out your wallet, right out your purse, right out your fanny pack. And this is coming in hot. Coming in hot. I got a whole bunch of fire. Whole lot of fire. And I'm spitting these royal regal flames out at you. And if it's too hot in the kitchen, we ain't turning the heat down. So hopefully you got tough skin. Hopefully you got some thick skin. And if you don't, repentance. Repentance is required of you. It is. It is indeed. Acknowledge your slippages. Acknowledge your dysfunction. Acknowledge your malfunction. Acknowledge your self-sabotage. Acknowledge the Christianity for what it is. Religious beliefs. A religious belief system. Spiritual religion. Nowhere in the scriptures have you read about keeping spiritual religion or religious beliefs or a religious belief system. You have never read that here. But what we just read is even Pharaoh tried to do the okey doke. He tried to pull the okey dokey on Moshe, on Moses. Yahusha wasn't having that. Nah. The rod and the staff will comfort you. And everything, every little magic, every little witchcraft that Pharaoh tried to do was thwarted, was snuffed out, was sniffed out, wasn't it? Thumped. Boom. Was trumped every time he tried to try it. So this is the warning call and the warning shot for the Christians out there that they've been telling you some disheartening disillusions out here. They've been putting y'all under strong delusion out here. So now if you're not careful and you're not cautious, Yahuwah should turn you over to that reprobate mind, to that worthless, wicked mindset, to that worthless, wicked mind frame, to believe a lie, to believe in them curses and them oaths and stuff. Instead of you just go ahead and keep the marriage vows, keep the alignment and the agreement and the contract with Yahuwah. Y'all want to go over there and get y'all little feelings fed. Get your emotions fed. Get your skin and bone and flesh fed. This is not that. That ain't it. You will never hear your pastor, preacher, teacher, minister, reverend, deacon, or bishop speak like this. They don't speak like Yahuwah. They don't speak like Yahusha. Because they don't come from above. They don't come from above. They didn't come from on high. They won't even read you this passage, this line, this precept. And if they do, they gonna tell you a whopper. They gonna spin it and web it all up like they some web slingers. Like they Spider-Man or something, huh? Yeah. Yes. Well, we going in today. Well, Aki Emmanuel, why you going off? Why you snapping on us? No, listen. It's hard time. It's hard times out here. And folks are just walking around. People are just walking around in a volatile state, in a numb state, in a confusing state, in a frustrating state. They walking around here lost. They're walking around with no hint, clue, or idea. They're lost in the sauce. They're looking for a savior all up in the church. Christians is looking for a savior all up in the church. Christianity made y'all to and perceived to y'all the perception. Gave y'all this perception that your pastor, your preacher, your teacher, your minister, your reverend, your deacon, your bishop was your savior, was your Messiah. And that, my friend, is a lie. L-I-E. Yeah. Yeah. Aki Emmanuel, I'm a teeth y'all who not snapping. He not going off. I'm just giving y'all a dose of wake up juice. Huh? That's what this is. That is what's called for at this time, at this moment in time. Because for far too long, we've been stuck, stagnant, complacent. We've been going nowhere fast. We've been going backwards. Nobody thinks in reverse. And don't nobody walk backwards. See what I'm talking about? Yahuwah should put everything in front of us to be visionary. Everything is front, not behind, not backwards. And a lot of what we was taught is backwards thinking, backwards planning, reverse thinking. That's what it is. To cause your feet to slip, to cause your foot to slip, cause you to tumble and stumble and fumble. To cause blockades and speed bumps and roadblocks and dead ends. And give you mountain upon mountain upon mountain and valley upon valley and hill upon hill to move. And then tell y'all you got the mustard seed of faith But at the same time, they don't tell you nothing else besides that. When it's much more to the word of truth. There's much more to the Basura. There's much more to the great news than just having mustard seed faith. Amunah. They works be dead. They works don't match. See, they get rich off y'all's backs, Christians. You come up in that church, they getting rich off your backs because there's a such thing called 501c3. So they ain't gonna talk like how me and you talking, how like you and me talking on this YouTube land station, on this account, on this page, on this handle, on this channel. They won't talk like this in there. They got certain rules and regulations. They got filters attached to their wording. They got choice words. See, I don't. When Yahusha say yes and let you off the leash, oh, that's a wrap. It's all over. Now you have a dangerous calling. Now you're dangerous to them. You're calling for what you're chosen to do, for your purpose and your future and your hope and your reasoning and the plans Yahusha got for you. Now you become a threat to them. They'll never point you to a channel like this or like the other channels that you've been seeing. They want you to keep going to stuff that look just like what they preach and teach. They want to train you, coach you, and mentor you to be some babes in the faith. Babes in the Amunah forever. At some point, you're going to have to get off the breast milk. You're going to have to get off the boob. You're going to have to get off the tit. And stand on your 10. Stand on your 2 feet. Because all of them that's leading you down this Broadway, down that broad path to destruction, they ain't going to be on the judgment seat for when it's your turn. They going to be on the judgment seat when it's their turn. Not them getting judged for you or you getting judged for them. So come on home. Come on out. Come on out. There ain't nothing to stick around there for. You stick around there, you lose out on salvation. Just like Pharaoh did. He lost out on salvation. Being too stiff-necked and stubborn-hearted and stony-hearted. That's 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Where's that witness at? Where's that witness? So Christians, myself included, I'm not no Christian, but myself and brothers and sisters like me, Aggies and the Cuddies, all over this 4 corners of the earth, all over this rocks, this world, keep Yahuwah's instructions. Keep Yahuwah's directions, or you're going to be directionless out here. And you're going to be taking instruction from every corner, not knowing which way is straight. You're going to be here, there, everywhere. You're going to be turning around in circles. You know how they do when they do the little pagan birthday bash? They put the little blindfold on you and they spin you all around so you can go find the pinata and go hit it. That's how you're going to look staying in Christianity. You're going to be swinging at thin air every time, huh? I'm sure that's not what you want for yourself. I don't even want that for you. That's why Yahusha sat me right here in these last days, in these end times, and propped me up so that way, and brought me up so I can explain thoroughly, so that I can describe this, give you a description Now look. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Look at that. You got sorcerers and their sorceresses caressing your ears. Huh? Soothsaying up in your ears in the church. Christians. Whispering them sweet nothings up in your ears, Christians. Well, I've been there. All that soft talking and soft tone and soft voice stuff. But they are ravening wolves, huh? Ravening wolves. Their inner core be sour. Huh? They inner core be stank-a da dank dank dank. Rankety rank rank rank. Funky like a monkey. Yeah. Trying to hit you up with that hanky panky. With that one hand out, one hand tied behind their back type stuff. That kind of, yeah. That's the kind of serpents you deal with in the church now. They got it's serpents, it's snakes, it's vipers, and it's dragons all up and through there. They ain't talking about Yahushua off up in there. They ain't talking about very much. Now are they? Huh? Look at it. Now the magicians of Egypt. Look, they also did in like manner with their what? Enchantments. They in there with the what? What is that? Like what did you just say? They in there with the enchanting, with the sorcery up in there. With the magic, with the magician, with the pull the rabbit out the hat on you, off up in there. Show you a sign and a wonder and a miracle, and then guess what? You waiting on the next one to come. Then you waiting for the next one to come. And you waiting for the next one to come. When is he gonna do that again? When is she gonna do that again? It was some sorcery. It was some magic. It was some witchcraft. That was some enchantment to get you to acquiesce, to coincide with their little buffoonery. Huh? Yeah. Yes. And so, you need to pick up y'all walking stick. Y'all need to pick up y'all's walking stick. Pick up your stake, your timber, your tree, your walking stick, and follow the way, which is, who is Yahushua HaMashiach. Then and only then, you will find the Father, Yahuwah, Abba Father, Yahuwah. Okay? All right? So, let's stay right here in this chapter and read verse number 22. So we got Exodus 7 and 22 now. Go over here and read a taste of that. And the magicians of Mizraim did the same with their magic, and the heart of Pharaoh was strengthened, and he did not listen to them as Yahuwah had said. Look at that. Let's read that in the witness. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened. You see that? Neither did he hearken unto them as the Elul Elohim, Yahuwah, had said. So here's what happens. Right? It's a lot of Nephilim, Neanderthals, and giants in this land. And the blood of those Neanderthals and Nephilims and giants will be spilled. I'm telling you now. Plagues is going to come upon those that oppose Yahuwah. People, folks, Christianity is the direct opposition. They're the op. Christians, you understand, you're operating on the opposing side. You're on enemy grounds. You're on the enemy turf. You in the devil's playground. You have to understand. And it's a dangerous place to be, because blood is going to be requested at your heads. I'm telling y'all now. At your hands and at your heads, blood is going to be required if you remain on that side of the street, on that side of the fence. That Christianity does not lead toward life. It does not. So, I'm fair warning those of you out there that will tune into this and watch. And I humbly ask that, if you're going to chime in and tap in, hey, however long or short that this is, stick with it to the end. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Beloved Yadid out there. So let's keep going, right? I want to go back to Acts. Acts, like how we did last time out. Let me find that. So it'll be Acts chapter 20, and it'll be verse 29 and 30. Okay? Boom, got that pulled up right there. Now I'm going to take the witness and do the same thing. Boom, right there. Now let's read what that say right there, boy. For I know this, that after my departure, savage wolves shall come in among you, not sparing the flock. Look at that. Also from among yourselves, men shall arise, speaking distorted teachings to draw away the taught ones after themselves. So you see, my people, Yadid, beloveds, it's sickening how it's a transaction. They reciprocate what you give them, but they also expect you to give in return. But when you give in return, they'll match your time, they'll match your energy, they'll match your effort. But when it's time for you to ante up, when it's time for you to cough up that cabbage, they would never do the same for you. And if they do the same for you, it's going to be miraculous. It's going to miraculously transpire, miraculously happen. And then they're going to play and pretend like it was something from on high, something from above that came over them. When the whole time, they just trying to suck you in. They just trying to reel you in. Trying to get you in the, in the good graces, doing that, giving you that pep talk, head on the shoulder. Here's my shoulder, you can cry on that. That slap on the behind, that pat on the back, that's what they there for. That way you can keep coming. They'll say or do something for you to keep on coming, so they can keep milking you like a cow. Christians, hopefully y'all got to get the sugar daddy out your ear, get the earwax out your ear, and listen real closely. Pay close attention. They ain't sparing you. It seems so. It seems like they sparing you. It feels as though that they sparing you, but they really aren't. They just fattening you up for the slaughter, huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They give you they little bare minimum, but expect you to give them maximum. They give you bare minimum and expect you to give maximum. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me pull this witness up. Yes, indeed. I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to somebody now. And even Shaul was calling this stuff out long before I was calling it out. Paul was calling this stuff out. He was pointing this stuff out. He was blasting this stuff out, and he was busting it out. So I'm no different than Shaul, than Saul, than Paul, and neither are none of y'all who sit there and oppose Shaul, because the words that came out of his mouth, Yahusha placed it in his mouth to roll off the tip of his tongue, off the seat of his lips, huh? Yeah. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away the disciples after them. Mm-hmm. They speak to you perversely. They speak to you sideways. They speak to you crazy. They be going insane. They be going in nuts up in there. And everybody's so enamored by it. So enamored by that. And they be in the wrong. They be in error. Christians. All you Christianity sanctified and holy than thou. Christianity Christians. Pre-Constantine Christians. You got another thing coming. They have twisted and manipulated the word of truth to get you to latch on to them like they know more than what they actually know. But they really don't know nothing. They really don't know anything. They just know enough to sucker you, suck a duck. That's what they know enough to do. They know enough to weasel you and play possum. And this is I feel for those of you. I fear and I sympathize with Christians. I empathize with Christians, but why? Because it's a bad omen. It's a sad omen. For the longest time, you think you have something going for yourself. You think it's really, I'm really getting somewhere. You know, I'm really coming up. I'm really growing and building and developing. I'm really drawing to the Most High, and lo and behold, you've been drifting further and further away. That's why he say a lot of us out here's hearts are far from him. They be saying Alua, Alua, Elohim, Elohim. You know what I mean? But they heart be distant from him. So I'm afraid and scared of Yahuwah. And what could happen to Christians? What could potentially happen to Christians? The plagues. It's so many famines and pestilence and conquest and war going on. The blood. The blood that would have to be accounted for people that refuse to come out. And I'm talking about these counterfeit doctrine preaching teachers. And I'm talking about these false narratives that get pushed up in you Christians' ears. It brings water to my eyes, man. It makes me teary. It makes me tear up because I was once like you all that are identifying as Christian in a non-denomination. Man, listen, I remember when I was in the service, I'm going to share a quick little testament, quick little devotion. I remember when I was in the service and they would ask everybody what their non-denomination was on the little worksheets, on the little clipboard paperwork you have to fill out when you getting jumped in, when you getting on board. And it was a whole bunch of them. It was like a whole section, front and back, like right in the middle, to choose from. And once you pick one, they put it on your dog tag. So you have to wear these little beaded necklaces with your little dog tag collars. It got your blood type, your social security number, and your non-denomination on there. And your name, so that you can be recognized in case, something will ever happen. Yahuwah forbid. So it's like that. That's how they keep track, of the devilish tactics, man, the devilish antics that they've been, smoothly getting over on people. Pulling that wool over your eyes. And I sympathize. And I empathize because I was right there. I was just about to go down. And Yahusha prevented that. Didn't permit me to fail. Didn't permit me to fall. Falling is prohibited. Yeah. Let's keep going. I just want to share that. Just so I can give you an analogy and an idiom. Give you a symbolic measure to measure this by. Okay? All right. Let's go over to Galatians now. Galatians chapter 1. And verse number 6. All you beautiful people, Yahweh people out there, YouTubeville, YouTube land. Right. All right, there's that witness right there. Got that one. Now let's read. It says, I marvel that you are so readily turning away from him who called you in the favor of Messiah to a different great news. Look at that. Even Yahusha is shocked and appalled and amazed and startled that he can summon you, possess you, call you, choose you, but yet you run right back from what he summoned you, possessed you, called you, and chose you to do for him. You ran and spun the block to go back over there. He's gonna let you stay over there if you keep on putting off, keep on brushing him off and putting him off to the side, he gonna give you over, give you up. Not to say that he's quitting on you, but because you're quitting on him. So let's be very mindful and cognizant and aware and alert of the wiles of the enemy, the wiles of the adversary, the wiles of the devil. Very cunning is Shaitan. He knows he got but a short amount of time, but a smidget, a little bit, a teeny, wincy, teeny tiny bit of time left. And so he's gonna run that muck and he's gonna run that foul on you Christians especially. So I beg of you to come out of this Christianity. Come out of this Christianity. The falsery is real. The falsery is real. And then they teach you nothing but the New Testament. They talking about the New Testament drove out the Old Testament. We don't got to keep the Old Testament because the New Testament replaced it. Where it say that at? Off up in here. I ain't never saw it. I have not recalled. I do not remember. So, who is that witness? Where is that witness? So let me see that. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that you called into the grace, the kanun, the chanan. See that? Shasa of Mashiach, Messiah, Yahusha, unto another gospel. Or to say great news, Basura. Perverted. When they try to convert people, when they try to convert you to their church, they'll say whatever. They'll say whatever sweet, nice, kind thing they gotta say to get you to convert to that little Methodist or whatever they are. Or to that harvest church, or whatever the name of the church is. They will blow your phone up. They'll call you all the time. They'll put you in the email newsletter. Whatever it takes to perverse you. It's perversion. It's a perverted and calculated attack. Everything is meticulous. Everything is stylistically arranged. It was very integral and very cerebral, the way that they rounding you Christians up. So consider yourself not sleep no more, because the sleep session needs to be over and done, finished and done. You got me? You got that? So let's go to 2 Thessalonians now. Since them Christian teachers and preachers and pastors and ministers and reverends and deacons and bishops and stuff like to be up in the New Testament, let's stay in here and bust that for what it really truly is. Why don't we? Let's see. Let's go over 2 Thessalonians, and the chapter is 2, and the verse is number 9. The coming of the lawless one, check that out, is according to the working of Shaitan with all power and signs and wonders of falsehood. counterfeit doctrines, butchered doctrines, chopped and screwed up doctrines, bending and twisting the rules, bending and twisting the directions, bending and twisting the instructions. Taking away from and adding to. That's 666 territory. Mark of the beast territory. People, Christians, Christianity out there, I'm talking specifically to you all. My other Ankies and Cuddies that are fully in the know, you can let this roll off your back. But to them newbies, that's trickling on in. We're gonna get you broke in, and this is how we gonna do that. Let's debunk this falsehood. Now, let's read the witness. It says here, even him who's coming is after the working of Shaitan with all power and signs and lying wonders. See what I'm talking about? If we want to be counted worthy and deserving of Yahuwah's call, of him picking you and choosing you and calling you, right? And summoning you as his possession, you got to come out of Mystery Babylon. Come out of Mystery Babylon. This is a whole iniquity summit out here in these churches and with this Christian stuff, pre-Constantine Christian stuff. Mystery Babylon and the iniquities thereof, huh? Yeah. Yes. Now, put that old man, that old woman down. Put them lies down that you've been letting infest your ears, that you've been letting your ears get tickled by with the itchy ear festivals and stuff, and let it die. Let it die. Water under the bridge. Underfoot. Trampling and throwing it down underfoot now. Cast it away from you. Cast it out. As far as the east is from the west. It's that time. Seriously. Now, any questions about counterfeit doctrines and false teachers and whatnot, what have you, drop them off in the comments. Yeah? Right. So let's do, this one right here is some pressure right here. Gossip. Ooh. Gossip. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs got the gems, the rubies, the diamonds, and the pearls over there. Let's go over there. It's golden. Let's start off in Proverbs chapter 11 and verse number 13. Let's go over there. Let's go up over there. We're going to do that for you. We're going to get together on that. Chapter 11 and the verse is 13. Here we go. A slanderer is a revealer of secrets, but one with a trustworthy spirit conceals a matter. Look at that. So the moment you tell another one of your Ankies and the Cuddies in them pews in the churches, or if you just tell the pastor or his wife in person, they will spread that around the church. And then guess what? You the talk of the church now. They'll blackmail you the moment you want out. They'll blackmail you off up in there. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with these eyes right here. Mm-hmm. And it's plausible, and it's feasible, and it's possible. And I don't want that to happen to you, Christians. Out there in YouTubeville, YouTube land. I don't want to see that transpire or happen to you. Let's read this witness now. Let's read this witness. A tale bearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. See, when you got that contrite heart, that humble heart, you're not finna be spreading people's personal lives, smear campaigns on people's personal lives. See what I'm talking about? Truth is the truth, yeah. Right is right, yeah. But wrong is wrong too, huh? Yeah. And a lie is a lie. A lie is still a lie. Mm-hmm. So it's a balancing act. You gotta be very cautious and careful and courteous, juggling your livelihood, your lifestyle, your life with this Babylonian matrix, this Babylonian system. This world was not built for us to succeed in it. This world was built for trepidation, trial and tribulation, trouble, dilemma, issues. And once you figure out your place in the body of Messiah, body of Mashiach, when you set your sights above, when you store up your treasures in heaven, then you know what it really truly means to live. But if you're getting caught up with the newscasters and the weatherman and the weather gal, if you're getting caught up with the politics, with the politicians, if you're getting caught up with any of these things on the mainstream outlets, on the mainstream circuits, it could easily take you down with it. You could easily start to sink and just fade faster and faster and faster. All right? So, another stern warning for the Christians that may or may not watch this, that might or might not watch this. But if you are checking it out and tuning in, chiming in and tapping in, by all means, this is for you. I had to do the exact same thing. I had to untether. I sure did. Right? Right. Now, let's stay in Proverbs. Let's go to chapter 16 and verse 28. Boom, there's that. Here's that. A perverse man sends forth strife, and a whisperer separates intimate friends. See that? The perversion causes wrath. It causes things to lead to a beef or fisticuffs, or it causes discord, or it causes false witnesses. See what I'm talking about? It causes chaos and commotion. When you get the pillow talking, when you get to sneak dissing, when you whispering them sweet nothings in somebody else's ear about that very person that you just spoke with, but you ain't take it back to the one you just spoke with. You just took it to a sister of his or a brother of hers, and just mixing all types of bad blood. That's gossip. Proverbs 11 and 13. Now Proverbs 16 and 28. Gossip at its all-time highest, at its all-time finest. Right there. Boom. Let's get that witness up here. See, Yahuwah, Alua Elohim, Yahushua HaMashiach is going to weigh us by our ticker right here. That good old ticker. Gonna weigh us by our spirit, by our soul, by the way that his ruah operated on us, through us, and in us, within us, deep inside, living inside. That is how he's gonna measure and weigh us. What we did with it. Did we use it and abuse it? Did we misuse it? Did we, cough it up and whatnot, what have you? Look at this. A froward man soweth strife, look at that, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. So now we got brothers and brothers, and sisters, sister and brother and sister who no longer friends because all this grapevine stuff. Then in the biggest forum that this happens in is Christianity. The fallouts be happening left and right. Physical fallouts, spiritual fallouts, mental fallouts, social fallouts, emotional fallouts. Well, I can't go back here no more because whoop-de-woo said this and such said that, and such told me this and such told me that. And now we can't get nowhere as a people, as common folks. That's why the one nation is scattered now. Our forefathers, ancestors, and elders did it. And then the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. We was on deck. We was next. Because of those that came before us. And see now, this Christianity stuff is practically name calling. And you can thank the popes and the Romans for that. All these Pope Gregory, Pope Arthur people coming up with all this bull jive, all this BS, all this bull crap of a message, and wanna stick it in with the scriptures. Stick Yahushua's name in front of it, and then on top of that, slander his name, bring his name to nothing, and serve it up on a silver platter, serving it up on a gold platter, and then say, hey, you too can become a Christian. It's a smoke screen. That's exactly what it is. Y'all remember that one movie? Was it called Power Rangers? The type of Power Rangers that used to come on? It was a lot of sorcery and a lot of witchcraft and a lot of magic and a lot of enchantment going on in the TV shows of the olden days and in the cartoons of the olden days. And there was a lot of gossiping going on in the TV shows and in the movies and in the cartoons as well back then. It's even more hectic now than it was back then, but it was very prevalent, very evident back then. Is definitely apparent and obvious now. So wake up. This will weigh your heart down. This will weigh your spirit down. People have been waiting for JC and LORD and GOD since the time that name came out. Look it up. Look the year and the date up. Since the time this JES US character came about and the CHRIST to go along with it, since the time of its conception, since it started and began, people have been waiting for that to come to pass and come to fruition and be brought forth. It's not happening, y'all. It's a character, just like how I describe these movies and cartoons and TV shows. Power Rangers used to come on, and they had all types of ghoulish characters in there. They had all types of goons in there talking about slander and slang and gossiping, punking each other. And that's exactly what the ministries at the head of Christianity be doing. Punking y'all. Chumping you. All day, every day. Let's stay in Proverbs. Let's go to chapter 17. Shall we do that? Chapter 17 and verse 9 says this: he who covers a transgression seeks love, ahaba, but he who repeats a matter separates intimate friends. Look at that. Let's get the witness over here. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, ahaba, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. See, they get you to come up in that church and hit you upside the head with that love stuff and say, yeah, love covers a multitude of sins, but every single lesson, every single study session is about love. And if you love your brother, go on pass $1 to the collection plate. And if you love your pastor, and here's a Shaw, his wife, go on put $1 in the basket. Come on now, you can do it. It's a sin and it's transgression to not add on to that collection plate. Add to the collection plate today so your sin can be blotted out. So your sins can be wiped away. Put 5 if you love them 5 times over. Put 10 if you love them 10 times over. Put 20 if you love them 20 times larger than life. They'll say little things like that, little tidbits of things like that to get you to go for the goal. And then guess what y'all do when y'all leave church? Gossip about it. You remember when Pastor said this cute thing? You remember when Pastor Shaw said this cute thing? I can't wait to go back on Wednesday. I can't wait to go back on Sunday. Now, their gossip got you gossiping. Their mockery got you mocking. Their scoffing got you scoffing. Their scorning got you scorning. Their perversion got you perverted. And it's just a trickle-down effect, ladies and gentlemen. Beloved Yadi, come on. Let's ease into this. Let's ease into this. And now we need to ease out of it. The way you got eased into it, now you need to ease your way out. The way you slid your way in, now you need to bag your way out, Christians. Over there in the Christianity side of things. Neighborhood, neck of the woods. Come on, coming on. We gotta get you up out of there. Now, let's go to chapter 18 now. And right here in Proverbs still, and go to verse 8. And it said this: a bribe is a stone of favor in the eyes of its owner. Look at that. And that's what they do in Christianity. They bribe y'all to stay a Christian. They hit you with the bribery so you can remain a Christian. And they'll do all the kundalini in the whole wide universe. They'll do all the sorcery, all the magic, and all the witchcraft, and all the enchantment. They'll go to the palm readers. They'll go to the tarot readers. They'll go to the crystal ball seers. They'll go to these mediums just to keep you entangled in the tangle ray, with this Christianity system, with this Christian stuff, and things of that nature. Bribery. Look at that. And that's a stone. They might as well just lynch your neck and stone you to death. They might as well handcuff and shackle and chain you and stone you if they're gonna just bribe you to favor themselves and get this unfair and unjust profit for self-gain. Now they got a house on the lake while y'all still stuck in the projects, y'all still stuck in the ghetto, y'all still stuck in the hood. While y'all still up in the trailer park, they over here with the house on the hills. They got the castle. The hypocrisy is real. Where is that witness at? The hypocrisy is real. Look at that. It says the words. The words of a talebearer are as wounds. Look at that, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. A talebearer, a briber, a liar. Straight out the fool's mouth. Straight out the fool's mouth. So now we need to hit that fountain of wisdom. We need to hit on a wellspring of wisdom. Just because it sounds great, it sounds fantastic, it sounds outstanding, it sounds amazing, don't mean you gotta jump, skip, and hop to it. Just because they say jump. How high? You don't just go say how high. Now, do you? No. Test and try and true the spirits. For we are going to be weighed by the spirit that we carry, that we tote. And they spirit just be defiled, unclean. You go up in the church, they doing immersions, calling it baptism in a pool. In a pool. No living water. Like how Yahusha was immersed in living water, and Yehukanan was immersing people in living water, but a pool, that's a talebearer. That is a lot. That is some bribery. Because even they got me as a young boy, as a little young boy, a little grasshopper, had me. Took me for the loop all that time ago. And if Yahusha can take me out and remove me from them places and them spaces, he can take you out and remove you from them places and spaces too, huh? Yes. Let's go to chapter 20 and verse number 19 now. It says this. He who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. Look, therefore do not associate with him who speaks smoothly with his lips. Look at that. Let's pull up that other witness right there. It says, he that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets, therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. So, these ministers and reverends and teachers and preachers and pastors and deacons and bishops, they go right around up in the church, on the church ground, lying. Over and over and over. Time and time again. Lie. And lie some more. But then call themselves a just man. Or woman. Whoever up there on that stage. Making a mockery out of the one who spoke these words first. Yahuwah, Yahusha HaMashiach. Yeah. And then don't go telling them your business. They gonna tell the whole church. They gonna tell the whole church. and act like they getting you somewhere. They gonna have everybody put their hands on you and say a prayer over you. And they gonna get somebody else in them pews to pass out, to fall out, and to faint, and start foaming and shaking and shivering and jiggling and trembling everywhere. They gonna get somebody to freak out and act out while all of this is going down, just so that smooth talk can work on you. That lip service, the verbal gymnastics can work on you. They got a whole team of people. This is what y'all don't see behind the scenes of how to lure you in. They got a whole team surrounding them. These churches that y'all go and pledge allegiance to faithfully, religiously. No. Yeah, we'll say it right there. Disassociate, disalign yourself with him or her. Yeah. That's giving you all of that soothsayer stuff. All that, oh, well, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. JSUS going to fix it soon. That just sounds like a horror movie. For them to even tell you something remotely close to that. That sounds like a horror show. G-O-D, got it. Nope. Let's stay right here. Let's do chapter 26 now. Chapter 26. Right. And verse number 20. It says this: for lack of wood, the fire goes out, and without a slanderer, strife ceases. So if you don't kindle your own royalty, see what I'm talking about? If you don't kindle your own fire, regal and royal flames, you be outed. You be ousted. You got to keep oil in your lamp. You can't count on other Christians to keep oil in your lamp. You can't depend and rely on other Christians to keep you in line, to keep you intact. Because that's what ends up happening. It's too much, the merry-go-round. It's too much Red Rover, come on over type stuff happening up in these churches. They want you to donate every time you walk through them hallowed halls. Because that's what it is, some hollow halls. Hit you with the halo. Yeah? Yes. They hit you with that halo in there. I'm telling you right now. If you don't keep oil in your lamp, it'll be ousted. Just like if there's no slanderers or slang, profane, cussers around you, that's when the strife ends. But as long as you got the profane, slanderer, slang, cusser around you, strife gonna continue. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm hitting at? It's right here. I just read it out loud. And don't whiff on this. Christians out there in Christianity. Pre-Constantine Christians out here in YouTube land. Don't whiff and don't miss out on the message. This should be a revelation. This should be an affirming affirmation, affirmatively speaking. This should be confirmation for you. If you come across this feed, because it's so much saturation, oversaturation on YouTube, and if this video gets to you, and you make it this far, Consider the consequences, ramifications, and repercussions of staying put in a religion that never cared about your wherewithal, never cared about your well-being, your welfare, your health, your strength, your nothing. All they cared about was themselves, and you just happen to be the donkey. You just happen to be one of the donkeys, one of the mules hanging around the church building. You gotta think outside the box now. I'm pointing you somewhere. Today. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians. Let's go over there. Let's do a little something like that right there. Why don't we? 12, number 12, and verse number 20. Go over here and do the same in the witness right here. 2 Corinthians with the chapter 12. Yes, with the verse number 20. Yes. All right. It says this: For I fear lest when I come I do not find you such as I wish, and I be found by you such as you do not wish, lest there be strife, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, slander, gossip. Look at that. Puffings up, and unrest. You see that? Even Saul was warning us that we ourselves as the church, the more we mingle outside of this vessel, you know what I'm saying? The more we are at risk, the more we are subject to be at risk of the very things that he described. We're at risk of people that have outbursts, people that have anger issues, people that have jealousy and envy, people that have strife, people that are selfish, people that are puffed up, people that are cussers, slanderers, and slang term users, foul language and whatnot, carrying on. And they have unrest. Their spirit is not at rest. They don't even know what to do with their shalom. They don't even know what to do with their peace. And so when you get around these folks, now it rubs off on you. Now you feeling like, I need to go back to church so I can get this feeling shaken off of me. It's going to be more of the same. I need to go back to the church so I can get my emotions regulated, so I can get my emotions in check. No, you put it into subjection because you are the church, as Paul just demonstrated. Let's read that witness. Let's read that. For I fear lest when I come, I shall not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not, lest there be debates. Look at that. Churches be having hot takes and hot debates. They make waves on the internet. They make waves online. They be going live. You can watch them, these mega churches, on YouTube. You can watch them on Facebook. You can watch them somewhere everywhere. Instagram, you name it. They got the outlet. They are plugged in. Look at envyings, wraths, strifes, backbiters. The moment you fall out with one of them church assembly members, they gonna backbite you. They gonna pillow talk and sneak diss and whisper about you. They gonna swell up about you. They gonna swell up at you. It's like a never-ending saga. You gotta go where you're appreciated and not tolerated. I'm not saying that all churches are bad, but I'm telling you that Yahusha, our Heavenly Father, our Maker and Creator, does not dwell in buildings made by hands. Because his hands is the very hands that can do such. So why would he put his own children, sons and daughters, in a building when he gave us a whole building, our whole frame, outward and inward and outward is the church. We the assembly. Why would he stick us in one of these buildings that worship another deity other than him, a mighty one other than him, a savior other than him, a deliverer other than him? None of them can hold a measure up to his, none of them can hold a candle to him, and none of them can strap his sandals, just as Yahuwah said. So why should we put ourselves in jeopardy of all these things being present? Now, I can continue. It says, unless when I come again, my Alua Elohim will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned already, and have not repented of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. And that's a whole lot of meat right there. So guess what you gotta do? Pre-Constantine Christians. Because Constantine is the one to blame. But he'll blame folk like me and folks like you for taking the bait. That's how it happens. You take the bait, now you rage baited. Now you come into agreement with these campaigns. With these plots and ploys and schemes. And then when you ain't satisfied here, you're going right here. You're not satisfied there, you're going over here. Then you left there, you go here. It's like, it's just that trampoline effect. It's like a Stairmaster effect. You think you're going up, but you're going nowhere. You're just going up and down, and you just in one set motion. You moving in slow motion. No progress, just regressing. No progression, just regression. And that's it. And then y'all call it trusting the process? No. The process, you missed it. When you entered in to all of this without examining self. Without examining self, without being in shalom and content with your own self and with those who, because I'm sure Yahusha will add like-minded, same accord folks, same accord people and like-minded people around you. You don't got to go searching and looking for it yourself. You don't have to do that. And this is just the love and the haba that Shaul, Paul, and Saul had. The stern warning, the warning shot, the warning call to keep the church right here, and right here. That's not to say you can't fellowship or commune and congregate, whatever y'all want to call it out there, because a lot of these words is just, you can do a case study, but you can still assemble and gather. But it's not to the degree where y'all stuck out in this devilistic place we call USA, America. It's a church at every corner, you all. It's a church at every corner. And not only that, there's a drugstore at every corner, a little big farm, pharmaceutical. There's a grocery store at every corner. There's a gas station at every corner. And you know what else is bad and sad? There is a liquor store at every corner. So they infiltrate. You know what I'm saying? They interrogate and they vet to see who doing what. They know who's spending on what. They know what you spending on. They keep track of all that stuff. They know what you spend your money on, your funds on. They know what you buy vast majority of the time. So now it's time to like really get back to ancient days, ancient of old, the ancient path. There's no longer time to sit there and meddle around in this society, in this economy, and think we're gonna get somewhere. It's been the same. They only add a few things here and there to spark a increase, and that in itself has to be agreed upon as well before they even assess that and put that into place, put that into motion. But I just gave you guys a brief overview. It's like you see all that stuff out there. It's by design. It's to convince, influence, entice, persuade. In whatever order you want to put it. Influence, convince, tempt, entice, and persuade. It's an entrapment. That's why everything out there is situated like how it is. It's a snare to trap you. It's a deep ditch. It's a deep pit. That is what Christianity is. That's what being a Christian is. Because you got a lot of Christians that have been to some churches. They've been to every church in their city or town or in their state. Or they got a whole handful. They got enough fingers and toes to count the ones that they done been to in their city and state or their town. Kid you not. Can't make this up. So, but let's just keep moving right along. I don't want to break down right now. I want to finish. I want to finish this for the people. Now, it's Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 29, and we're gonna read that too. Let's get there. It says this. It says, "Let no corrupt word come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for the use of build up, so as to impart what is pleasant to the hearers." So it's like everywhere you go, you hear gossip. And that's the topic of discussion. That's just because I didn't say the word gossip, don't mean I'm not covering it. I'm just giving you a big perspective to chew on, a bigger picture. But it's everywhere you go. You go to the grocery store, people are in there gossiping. You go to the barber shop, the beauty salon, they in there gossiping. Some of them, granted, they don't know no better. But then you got some who know this very word that you and I know, that me and you know, and still gossip anyway. It says, "Let no corrupt word come out your mouth, but only such as is great for the use of building up." So we gotta build you guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, for that matter, in that regard, much to the chagrin of Christianity. You got to be willing to let go first. You got to be willing to turn loose so you can be set free. Little old me can't just say, "Oh, you're free, you're let loose, you're you're off the hook. Nah. It takes an individual effort. It's a self-conscious decision. It's a choice you gotta make. You gotta pick and choose and decide what it's gonna be. How it's gonna be. Are you gonna stay all up in them buildings that they call church and play church? And listen to that gossip off up in there? Oh, look at her stockings. Oh, look at her heels. Oh, she got too much blush on. Oh, she got too much makeup on. Oh, his suit is too tight. Oh, them shoes is run over. See what I'm talking about? How long will you keep campaigning in Christianity? Because it's a slow leap. It's a slow, dying, perishing death. It's like a tightrope walk, right? You got water on the right side and fire on the left side, and you got a tightrope walk from one light post to the next. You can't afford to fall, because if you fall off the tightrope, you either drown to death or you burn to death. So it's like, come on. I'm trying to pitch this in a manner that is receivable. Okay? All right? So, and this should be music to a lot of Christians' ears. Because Christians for a long time, like me myself, when I was one, I'm just hearing a bunch of happy-go-lucky. I'm just hearing tambourines playing, right? And maracas shaking. And we just harmony with the hymns and stuff. We going to acapella. We doing the acapulco. We doing the acoustic up in there. But it's like, with all that mojo though, you never been moved to a new position, new disposition. You just got to do and come and back and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So, if you really truly want to know the Father for who he really, truly, and sincerely is, you got to come out of Christianity first. You got to come out of Christianity right now. You got to come out of Christianity today. Yesterday was too late. Tomorrow too late. He says live enough for the day, for tomorrow has enough trial and trouble in it. Enough trepidation, tribulation in it. Last month should have been came out. Last year you should have been came out. I got one more witness for the Christians. And listen, when you hear Christian, right? It's a title. It was never a name. It was always a title. And it's a label. So if I wasn't born a Christian, why would I want to die one? Ask yourself this. If I wasn't born no Christian, why would I want to die one? Ask yourself that while I pull up this next verse here. And we're gonna go to Leviticus. We're gonna go to Leviticus chapter 19, and the verse is 16. Right. Chapter 19, verse 16. Ask yourself, since I wasn't born no Christian, if I wasn't born no Christian, why would I want to die one? Because that would be one of the things you are asked. on the seat of judgment, on the seat of trial. It's like why devote yourself to something that's never been devoted to you? Yes. 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 Alright. We're gonna get our read on once more. Last one here. It says, do not go slandering among your people. Do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahuwah. See, gossiping does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to Yahuwah's people. A lot of damage. Words can hurt. Words can cut deep. Words can scar you. It can. It says, do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. So it's like if somebody just bloodying up your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your Aki, your Cuddy, bloodying them up by the name calling, by the slander slang, and just the foul language and the calling outside the name and the cussing. And you know what I'm talking about? Poor use of words, poor choice of words. You're spilling their blood before Yahuwah. You're spilling the blood of your neighbor before Yahuwah. He says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. He says, I'm Yahuwah, right there. He don't like gossip. He don't like gossip. Those are abominable and detestable to him. He don't like that. He don't like that. No, nope. Pull that witness right up right here. Says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. So don't be going trying to save face or trying to look good or trying to be appearing to be, playing the part. Like it's a role in an action hero movie or something. No. You in that much of a heaviness that you gotta put down another person. Like you gotta use them as your stepping stone. Cause a lot of people do that in the church. They don't care who they step on and who they land on to get where they trying to go. But they like bump whoever ain't not coming. Bump who ain't ever coming. Bump who ain't here. We just dealing with those who are here. Even if somebody was kicked out of the church group, they still just gonna keep on marching like nothing even happened to their neighbor. Like their neighbor didn't get burned from the gossip that happened, that transpired. Says here, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Elohim. I am Elohim, Yahuwah. See that? Says, so you need to really, really be righteous in your dealings. All the fellow Christians that be doing the fist bumping and the high fiving with one another, you really ought to be righteous in your dealings. Be righteous in your dwelling spaces, your dwelling places, and be righteous in your doings, because Christianity not gonna get you nowhere but in a second death. Nowhere but the lake of sulfur, the lake of fire. So here's the nugget I'm gonna drop on you before we get up out of here. And I'm gonna tell you this. And I thought this to myself many occasions. And it goes like this. Would you wanna die once and live twice? Or would you want to die twice and live once? Put that in your thinking cap. Put that in your memory bank, in your muscle memory. And ponder about that. And wonder about that. Well, this has been Emmanuel Pt.2, and we have come to the end of why should the Christians leave the church. This will be the final take. I won't be revisiting it again because I have a lot of studies to do. I have a lot of studying and research to do. So, between me and you, till I see you again, I'm Emmanuel Pt.2. Shalom to all the Mishpachah, all the Kadashim, set apart in Kadesh, elect saints, select few, chosen ones. Right. It's Emmanuel Pt.2, yours truly and sincerely. Kwam Yasharal. Let's rise up. Let's rise up together. We got one job. You know, let's do our duty and fulfill our obligations to our Abba, Yahuwah, Elohim. Yahushua HaMashiach is the king. Yahushua HaMashiach is king. This is Emmanuel Pt.2, and I'm signing out. Shalom.